Once Louise with Louise McKeart, and I am diving straight in again. I thank you for being here, and what we're doing today are coasters to match the Lazy Susan that I just made. It's with a very monochromatic palette, which is a palette that I used a number of months ago when Kathleen from Cos Creations asked me to make a canister set for her. So sort of like the jars that I do make, but a canister set. So I was working on the canister lids, and to match her kitchen, which was a monochromatic, actually her whole house is a monochromatic color scheme. And from that, I actually got another commission from another person, actually a couple commissions, to make the same kind of thing. So I am making a Lazy Susan and matching coasters today, thinking, well, if it was good enough for Kathleen and a couple other people, it's probably good enough for other people as well. So here we go. That was my Multi-Pro 47-3110. This is my pillow. The pillow is the first color, the first paint that you lay down in a bloom technique, where the paints that I'm about to lay on top of it will flow over it as I blow out the composition after laying down the cell activator. And you'll see all this unfold in a minute. So this is my Golden's Iridescent Silver. I don't know if you can see the trace here. The trace is how long it takes for the paint, once you drizzle it off the stick, to resubmerge back into the paint. And these are about 2 seconds or so. It's a little thinner than I'm usually working with, but actually this is really nice, because I just mix these paints up, and they're nice and fresh, so they're very pliable. I love when they're very flexible, not like rigor mortis, when they're a few days old and it gets kind of locked up. But you can fix those kind of paints too with maybe adding a little more pouring medium, a little more color, or a little water, or even a little more varnish. You just got to get it to the right consistency. So this is Modern Masters Pearl White with Golden's Shading Gray. And for these, I use my pouring medium to mix with my paints. And my pouring medium is video 140. If you want to see how I mix my pouring medium, in that video, I am mixing a Glidden that I used to use. Currently, I use a Valspar, but both are very fine. They both work great. I know everybody's in a panic about the 8300, the Behr 8300 going away. You know, there are so many other options. You don't have to worry about the Behr 8300. There's the Valspar 833124. There's the Glidden. I think it was 6311, and I think it's in my video. And anyway, there's another Behr 3300 that works, which I haven't used yet, but I've seen people's results. Yeah, and I always pay attention when somebody says that something's working. I always look for the evidence. You know, what are they using and what are the results? And if you haven't noticed, I always share the resined or varnished results at the end of my videos. You know, people can say they use this or that. Show me what you're using, and then show me what your effects are. So that's Golden Carbon Black cell activator. This is still the cell activator that I got from Jessica Winterstrom from Winterstrom Art. This is almost 2 months old. So this is Australian Floetrol. So when people tell you, oh, you have to use it up within 2 days, I call BS, because that's not true. It may be most effective within a couple days, but this is working every bit as fine to me. And also, if you don't want to use Australian and don't want to spend the money, I have my own recipe, video 141, American Floetrol cell activator recipe. It's 8 minutes, and it shows you how I make it and what goes in it. But in the meantime, I've got this to burn up. This is the titanium white. Give a squirt of that down. Oxide black. Almost 2 months old here, folks. So as I get ready to blow this out, I blow straight down into that cell activator first to try to get it to start blowing out in as full a circle as possible and form a ridge where the cell activator has been blown out a little bit, and then I aim my blow at that ridge to blow it out across the coaster in all directions as evenly as possible. Yeah. 2 months old. Don't believe everything you're told. Make your own observations and decide whether it makes sense or not. I know when I was first learning, it seemed like so many things I was being told was like scare tactics. And, you know, fluid art's supposed to be fun. You shouldn't be afraid of what you're doing or worried that you're going to make a mistake. This paint's resilient. The paint wants to last. It wants to be used. I mean, tell me. It's in a container. Unless I leave the container open, what's going to go bad? The ingredients are still there. It's not like they're running off somewhere. I mean, seriously. I always try to apply, what makes sense here. Does this make sense? And then what happens is, of course, you end up using it. You have it, and you're like, oh, it's a month old. Oh, should I try to use it? And then you use it, and it's like, oh, this is fine. And I've used my American Floetrol up to 3 months later with no problem. Look at this. Yeah, from the Fluid Art Experience. Today's the 15th. I don't know if you can see that. What I'm showing here is the date on my watch, which is the 15th of July. 15th of July. 15th of July. And that's from the 25th of May. So you tell me. I don't have a problem with this. Nope, don't have a problem with it. Look at this. And it's not even my recipe. I can't even take credit for it. So maybe Jessica put in some special potion that I'm not aware of. But either which way, it's working, and I got a ton of this stuff. If you want to come over to my house and take some of this off my hands, you're more than welcome. I'm not kidding. I've already given some of this stuff away. I can only use so much. You can only use so much. I don't know if you saw that, but I cheated the coaster to that direction so that the weight of the paint will blow off in that direction like it did. See? Right there. See how it's all extra over here? I think we're about done. Might get a couple spots here and there. Clean up. Quickie spin. Just enough to get it off. Okay. Actually, I'm going to leave those. Those are not white spots. Those are the iridescent. And when I get the resin on them, they're going to glow. So it's going to look really cool. So this is where this one is, folks. I'll clean up the bottom as well before I put it to bed. You always want to clean up the bottom. Look at this. Almost 2 months old. So everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial to include the commentary about how long Cell Activator really lasts, at least for me, up to 3 months. So here are the 4 coasters still wet, and now here are the dry resined results. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell and all, leave a comment and a thumbs up. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. And I have to make a confession here. One of these coasters is not quite like the other. And I couldn't believe I didn't even notice till I was filming this. Look right there. I had apparently a creepy crawly go through this while it was still wet and left that remnant mark. But on the whole, these look really good. I think somebody would have to look really hard to see that and find it. So I'm just going to let it go. And I'm going to link at the end here my coaster playlist if you want to see other colors and other combinations. So that's all for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.